Nah, it's all good. No, you good. You good. You good. It's all good. But we are live though. We are
What's
live.
going
Episode
on?
what's this? 12 of the Over 30 Podcast. We're gonna give it some time for people to come on in. In the meantime, let me go ahead and share it on Facebook. We
You
do
can share
have our
yours on Facebook too, Saturday.
yeah, let's do that. But we do have our first guest. We're gonna introduce her soon. Once we get a few more of y'all in here, we'll get it started. First guest of the show. So congratulations, Sade, on being our first guest.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah. Hey, milestones, as we like to call it.
All right, I'm about to share mine too. I will BRB.
All right.
I just share mine too.
Cool. We talking mental health today, people. We talking Black mental health. It's crucial.
Yes.
The world is crazy right now. And we got we have the over 30 holistic expert Tisha bringing in expert of the mind. You feel me? I'm just here just to make sure the conversation goes smooth. Y'all can't learn nothing from me. We see it's feeling numb. We're gonna wait for Tisha to get back, and as soon as Tisha get back, we're gonna get it started.
Okay.
I gotta get it shared too. Now just make sure, with that nursery rhyme music, don't be falling asleep on it. We need that energy.
Hey,
You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna stay up. It's just going as soon as it's over, I'm gonna be able to just go to sleep.
Yeah, just pass out.
Yeah.
That's what's up. Yeah, I'm excited about this conversation. I always think I think mental health is something that's underestimated in terms of the impact that it has on Black communities, and we don't do enough really kind of taking care of where we at mentally. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the boy G Lee, co-host of the Chop Up, is in the building. What's good, G Lee?
Okay.
And then as everybody else, as y'all come in here, hit the like button, hit the share button. You know what I'm saying? Say what's up. You are getting a shout out on your backdrop though. The chat want to let you know that your backdrop is fire.
Thank you. Thank you.
You know what I'm saying? That's somebody who care about their craft. That's somebody who care about what they do and care about branding. Cause look, I got 2 podcasts. You don't see nothing. I'm slow playing. I'm sorry, y'all. Ain't it crazy when the guests come in and show you how you're supposed to be doing your job?
Hey, I'm trying to make sure when they close their eyes, they remember that RURC in the back.
RURC, yes. Now my problem is I was never good at cursive. So I want that to say pure so bad.
And I had some little debates about this looks like an E.
Yeah, E, yeah.
I'm like mine. So.
Yeah, and then once the people kind of like learn the name and see it more regularly and understand, we dealing with resilience. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Then that's how they appreciate it. But we do got Tisha back.
What's up, people? I am back. I need to upgrade my technology, basically. In short.
Yeah, it's all good. But
always.
Since Tisha's back, let's go ahead and get into it. This is the Over 30 Podcast. You can call me the political plug, Damo. I'm here with the Over 30 holistic expert, Tisha Marie. And we have a special guest today. Like I said, an expert of the mind, somebody to help you keep yourself right mentally. That's Miss Sade. How you doing today?
I'm doing pretty good. And you? How are y'all doing?
We're good. It's good to have you on our show today. First guest of the show.
First guest.
I appreciate it. I feel honored.
Nah, we honored to have you.
Episode 12. That should be your lucky number, actually. Episode 12, number 12, 1, 2 equals 3. Should look that up. I'm just trying to give you some.
That should be your lucky number. Mine's is 7, baby.
Oh. Okay.
Okay. 7 is in 12 somewhere.
See, look, I spent so much time learning from her. Now you got somebody teaching you. I'm like, okay, so maybe we need to have this. We need to talk. You know what I'm saying? I'm trying to listen. I know, like y'all, it's a new wave. I'm just trying to catch on. You know what I'm saying? Just let me hop in the bandwagon. I'm trying to learn. You know what I mean? Maybe I can bring my brothers and learn. You know what I'm saying? My brothers and we can learn. But we got Sade here because today we talking about mental health. right? Like it's a lot of crazy, wild shit going on in the world. And specifically for black people, it's hard, right? So, Tisha, this is your homie.
My
So
best friend.
your best friend, your best homie. You know
My
what I'm
best
saying?
homie.
Yeah. So go ahead, bring her in.
All right. Hey, this is episode 12 of the Over 30 Podcast. We got the owner of Rise Up Resiliency Center, Sade Gar Tyler. My best friend for about 17 years now. We talk every day. And she has helped me through so many problems mentally, spiritually, emotionally. She's walking in her path. She's on her journey, on her trajectory from changing mental health as we see it today. I am so honored and happy that she is the first guest on the show because we need it, and I couldn't pass up this opportunity for
Oh, so you just got
you
tired of
know.
just sitting talking to me? That's
I
what it
ju-
is.
I mean,
That's why we need
I
it.
just I
We
just
just
had to
need
hit
it.
her like we need you on the show. So I
She
mean,
ain't
she's
real.
been doing her thing lately. She just graduated with her master's, and
Congratulations. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. So,
just me getting front row seats to her life. I just had to have her on the show because I think this is an important topic to talk about. So thank you for coming, Sade. Thank you, thank you,
no
thank you.
problem. Thank you for having me. And I'm going to jump right in, y'all.
All
So,
right.
I am very passionate. Like Qua said, I am the owner and founder of Rise Up Resiliency Center, which is located in Olathe. I'm soon to be opening in Wyandotte County because that's kind of where I want to be because I'm from the dot. So,
Hey.
representing Wyandotte. So,
Hey.
yeah, I ain't going
Hey,
to
I'm
say
in Cali, but y'all know what's up. You know what I'm saying?
all right, all right. But yeah, so basically, I just want to talk to y'all about mental health. And this is something that, of course, in our community and with our culture in general, we don't recognize as a need. And for me, it's very, very passionate. I'll kind of tell y'all how I got into it. When I was young, I would always have people, older people, whoever, coming up to me just pouring their whole life stories, telling me about stuff, y'all, that I didn't even know nothing about at the time. But so that's kind of how I found out what my passion was and kind of what my purpose is in life. So right now, my current goal, I started my private practice. I graduated in April through COVID and started the practice in May. I jumped right into it, and it's definitely been a big blessing. But the issue was, so while I was in school trying to do research and stuff, there was no research out for us. Like I'm trying to figure out class assignments. Like, yeah, I'm gonna try to see the best method for African Americans or Mexicans. And if y'all from the dot like me, yeah, we put the Mexicans right on in there because them is my essays and my homies.
Over
So
there,
yeah,
El Centro. El
El
Centro.
Centro, absolutely, absolutely. So yeah, so basically there was no research out, and the reason why there was no research out is because we don't get mental health, y'all. So before I get into kind of some of that, I just want to break down, give y'all a little couple of definitions, just so that everybody has a clear understanding. So mental health basically is a person's ability to know a person's condition in regards to their psychological state or their emotional state, right? So basically, we talking about the psyche, the mind, and emotions, feelings, right? So that's your condition. So why it's important for amongst African Americans, period, is because y'all already know how we treat it here in America, right? Y'all already know the we live trauma and trauma lives. Like trauma is our norm, right?
Mm-hmm.
So um
What you mean by that? Break that down. Break that down.
Yeah,
Cause see,
yeah. Don't skip
cause see,
over that
that's
one. That's something
yeah.
we gotta elaborate on.
I'll tell you how trauma is the norm. Basically just our communities and everything. Like just with y'all on the phone. I mean on this podcast. I'm pretty sure how many friends died in elementary school or middle school or high school. How many people did we grow up with in elementary who we was what was we doing? Playing tether ball, volleyball, kickball, whatever with. And then around high school, right after high school, they dead and gone, right? Death has became our norm, right? Y'all, it must have messed my head up. I'm in at MNU, which is in Olathe, going to school, and I'm in a class. Of course, it's only me with like one other person that looked like me, and I hear somebody say they are having a hard time. They experienced their first death, and their first death was their great 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 grandpa.
Wow. Wow.
Y'all feel me?
Wow. Yeah.
We didn't get to see some of us didn't even get to see our greats. Some not even our grand. You get what I'm saying? But here, his first death was his great 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 grandpa. And I'm thinking like, dang, I just had two of my people die last week. What do you mean? You get what I'm saying? So we just live in a community where things that are not normal to the rest of the world has become normal to us, right?
Right.
You talk to somebody about your month, right? Their mouth is gonna drop like, how are you doing it? I can't believe that, you're how do you get, and it's like,
Right.
how do we when we don't have a choice but to, right? Because this is what we were given. So that's what I mean by trauma field.
Right.
And one of the ways that, like, the thing about trauma, although it's our norm, trauma impacts any human being the same way, right? So because of that, we have learned what's called defense mechanisms. Everybody has defense mechanisms. And basically what defense mechanisms are, am I going too fast?
No, you're fine.
You're good. Yeah.
I'm a little passionate about what I do, so.
It is, please handle your business.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, defense mechanisms, y'all probably know like laughter could be a defense mechanism, right? Denial is a defense mechanism. So
comedian telling jokes. Yeah.
Exactly. When something
Absolutely.
really hurts, you laugh about it. That's a defense mechanism, right? So basically, the term for it is psychological strategies that you use unconsciously to protect yourself when you feel a threat, anxiety, or guilt, or some unwanted thought or emotions, right? So if y'all notice, we are resilient, right? We all got some resiliency characteristics because we don't have a choice to be. But the thing about defense mechanisms is they are for survival. They're for those moments, right? But because as African Americans, our everyday life consists of threats and guilts and anxieties around stuff, we start living in those defense mechanisms. And those defense mechanisms are only for survival, right? But then we are always in what I call survival mode. So with that being said, with the defense mechanisms and linking it all back to trauma, we normalize.
Well, let me ask you this though. What puts us in survival? I know the answer. Yeah. I want you to explain to the people what puts us in that survival mode. I have an idea of what the answer could be, but what would you say puts us in that survival mode?
Survival mode. I mean, we don't have we don't have another choice. So are you asking for specific examples of survival mode, like a situation that will make you go into survival mode, or what?
Yeah, I mean, because the way that I look at it,
as a culture, like as a demographic,
because we all from Kansas City, right? So it's like, shit, when you talk about trauma and losing, young, losing people at a very young age, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's when we talk about like why we're in survival mode, what are the circumstances in our environment that create that?
Yeah, lack of resources, unemployment rates, deaths, constant deaths, gunshots all the time, constantly. You get what I'm saying? You hear gunshots so much that like sometimes like you duck, you hide, but it comes to a point like you kind of laugh about it, or like, man, that's down the street, it ain't close to us. You get what I'm saying? So all those things kind of puts us in survival mode. And not only that, just like relationships with parents. Like, say your mom is working hard. She trying to work hard to provide for all of y'all. She's working all the time. So she really don't have the time for you, and it hurts for you to be like, dang, you like, I know mom need to make this money, but I need her right now, right? But she working. So that pain of not having somebody there is too much. So you just be like, man, you kind of start just like, man, I know she got to work. It don't mean nothing. I'll figure it out myself. So a lot of survival modes, we look to ourselves to solve our problems because we know we don't have others to do it.
That's powerful. I got a question. Go
ahead.
That's some powerful stuff. Sade, thank you for elaborating on a few of those things.
Because I got a question after you, so go ahead.
My question to you is, what do you think? Why do you think therapy is taboo in the Black demographic?
Okay, so it's a lot of reasons. First, if we start off with the history, when you think about psychology or counseling as a whole, it was first used to I can't even say it right now, institutionalize, right?
Mhm.
So when people think about counseling and therapy, they think about straitjackets, they think about getting locked up, they think about medication, they think about an old white person in your business who don't know nothing. You get what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So basically, that's the attitude of not trusting white people, right? That's one thing that's carried down through generation, and then also a lot of it, and y'all probably ain't gonna like me for this, but this is kind of some of my
Hey,
passion.
this is the over 30.
Is
Say it.
our relationship, our understanding of our relationship with God, right? Or Jesus, right? So I have a lot of, I'm a Christian. Yep, I'm best friends with Quan. I'm a believer. I'm a Christian. And
No,
she
that's what you're
knows
supposed
it.
to have. You're supposed to have like it. You know what I'm saying? That's how
I
you know
got,
somebody
I
that's
got you.
elevated in their thinking.
Yeah.
If you know y'all can have those different beliefs, but
We
still
planted
be
that
able to just
first.
be yeah.
We grew. Now
Absolutely.
we
Yeah,
Yeah.
grew.
we
It's
definitely
it's a question of respect. It's just a question
we
of
would
respect.
definitely respect each other's
Absolutely.
Yeah.
perspectives, and
Yeah.
we have a variety and diversity in our friendship. We understand it.
Absolutely.
But keep
Well,
going,
that's
But
what's
keep
yeah,
up.
going.
so the church is one of the reasons too, because a lot of times believers feel like if I have depression or anxiety or something, that I'm not a good Christian. Or maybe you was told you need to pray more, or you need to read
Mm-hmm.
your Bible more, or you're not
Mm-hmm.
seeking God like you need to be. And that's
Mm-hmm.
all false. That has nothing to do with it, because as long as we are human beings and we're in this broken world, we are going to have diseases, mental illnesses, health issues. We're going to have all that stuff. So a lot of times that's why it's taboo. And another thing is so when I talk about the survival mode, showing our feelings didn't work well in our community, right?
Uh-huh.
So therapy is, when people think about therapy, they think about feelings and emotions and stuff like that. Well, that's something that we don't do too well, or the people that do it, we look at them like you weak,
Yep.
you soft, you get what I'm
Yep.
saying, stuff
Absolutely.
like that.
You
So
emotional.
yeah,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
emotional. All those things are reasons why it's taboo in our.
Uh-huh. I
Well,
love that.
let me ask you this: what are some of the survival strategies that have, excuse me, that have become commonplace with black people that we think are things that, oh yeah, this is what you're supposed to do, but it's really just an unhealthy coping of like the circumstances? What are some things that, like, as a therapist, you see specifically that's like, nah, y'all need to stop doing that shit?
Okay, so it's a lot of them. It's a
I mean, I know, because it's certain things that, like, it's really
lot.
things that you get older and you kind of get out of those circumstances that you kind of be like, damn, that's what we did. Like, I know, like you said, being in those college classrooms and sitting with those people who ain't experienced certain things, and then hear them kind of talk about what bothers them and what worries them, and you sit back and thinking like, that's normal. You know
Yeah,
what I'm saying?
yeah.
Yeah. So what are some of them things that come to
So
mind with you?
one of the main thing, and I understand why for our culture it was so important, but I'm gonna keep reminding y'all, the survival techniques is meant to survive. It's not meant to last for an entire lifetime, right?
Let's just make it
So
out. Yeah.
make it
Right.
out. Exactly.
Yeah.
So one of the things that I know, me personally, I do a lot in well, Tisha Marie would attest to this, is laughing. Right? You hear laughter is good for the heart, and laughing is good. But a lot of times when we are hurt about stuff, we make jokes
Mm-hmm.
and we laugh about it. For instance, both of my parents were drug addicts, right? So that makes me a crack baby.
Wow.
My friends, like, constantly, I always made jokes about being a crack baby. Always made jokes. Because I found humor in it, because it made it not as hard. You get what I'm saying? If I could laugh about it, and they don't want to laugh, but they laugh because I can
Totally unorthodox for me.
yeah, I could be pretty funny, but they're laughing about it. But that's the main thing that we do. Like, if somebody do something and you just kind of like thinking like, man, that nigga, like, he hit me in my face. Like, you laughing about it. Like, ain't nothing funny about you getting hit in your face. And you really hurt, you feel stupid, or you embarrassed, or you want to get them back, right? So that's one of the major, simplest things that we do that, like, that's unhealthy.
Mm-hmm. No, I think that's me. I'm a part of that. It's like it's certain shit that we just become normalized to. That it's like you hear me, like you see it and be like, damn, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Nah, bro, that's tragic. You feel me? That's wrong. Like You should feel a pain inside when you see shit like that. But it's like, that's crazy. And I feel like, to me, that's the dangerous thing. The kind of that just the way that we normalize violence is extremely problematic. It's like one of the I mean, if you ain't a real nigga if you ain't seen what's the joint? I can't even believe I forgot the name. Makai Pfeiffer. The real life story of AZ and them. Paid in full.
Paid in full.
Paid in full.
Yeah. Yes, that's my stuff.
The thing that everybody
give
remembers.
It to my man Ace Boogie.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. But the thing that everybody remembers is, man, niggas die every day, b.
Yeah.
Niggas die every day.
That's one of my favorite lines. Niggas die every day, b.
You know what I'm saying? But like that's like, yo, like. Like we shouldn't, but that's what happened when, you know what I mean, when like we find out somebody is like, damn, somebody else got damn word.
Absolutely.
I mean, and that was something that, like you said, we started coping with young age, extremely young age. You know what I mean?
But did we really cope with it? Or did we just push it under? Did we start using some of those defense mechanisms? Because it was easier to do it that way. So a lot of
so people, they were actually teaching us.
Exactly.
They was projecting their own mechanisms on
projecting. Yep. Wow. A lot of people want to say like we cope with the death or we do this and that, but like honestly, y'all, most of us don't even know what grief is. Like we don't even know what the grief process is and what it's about. Yeah. But we are coping. We cope, but then you see, they say, you know, it's a lot of drug addiction and alcoholism and a lot of killings and a lot of shootings. So was we really coping as a community?
Wow, no, I don't think so.
So you saying that there's a distinction between like coping and just maintaining?
Absolutely. Well, you have positive coping skills and you have negative coping skills.
Woo, break it down. See, that's what we need the therapist for. Let me get my pen. Let me get my pen.
I got my pen list. I've been having my pen where y'all at. I've been taking notes.
So let's talk about so positive. Let's start with the positive, John, because we always talk about the negative shit. What are the positive coping
skills? So exercise, of course, that's one, right? Journaling, just getting the stuff out, poetry, music. Okay. You get what I'm saying? That's something. That's a defense mechanism, but it's healthy. You should do that. For instance, if you see like musicians, we think about rappers, right? And they put everything into their music, and eventually that's their way for them to get up out of that situation and make it better. But they took all that anger, that frustration, and they put it in their craft. Artwork is a positive coping skill. You get what I'm saying? So all those things, we do have some of them. We have them. It's not that we don't have any at all. We have.
Yeah, that's all our rappers. You ask any rapper, like, why you talking about that violence? That's where I came from. I got to talk about my experience, and I don't think that should be discounted. I mean, I think that's the reason why, you know, we put up with like some of the music, some of the lyrics that we put up with. They're not lying.
It's relatable. It's relatable. You know,
It is really relatable, but the thing is, it's so crazy because, like, on one end, that's a positive coping skill for them, but it causes us to normalize.
Right. It's negative connotations too. Yeah.
So what could be a positive coping skill for somebody else could actually impact the community in a negative way. And that's real deep. That's for a whole nother conversation.
So, do you think that coping skills are subjective as far as like who should do it and what you should do with it, like as far as like projecting rap music upon a community and they're utilizing it in negative ways? Do you think that they shouldn't put it in there or shouldn't?
No. Yeah, I'm not saying that they shouldn't. I'm just saying that this is like a situation that has to be done with. Because first of all, let's get this straight. Most of them did not start off thinking I'm gonna get famous off of this. They was really just expressing themselves, right? And realness sells. Yeah. So if you trying to make it about the hood, if you see this as a something that's seen positive, that's helping you not engage in everything else, and somebody gonna pay you to do it, are you really thinking like it's going to mess up the community or, you know?
Absolutely.
You're not thinking that because and it has a two-way effect to it, because one way it helps validate their feelings because they like you said, it's relatable. I could feel that. Yeah, that's good. But then on the other end, it's normalizing some of the stuff because it all depends on your developmental stage when you get that information, right?
Right,
So
right.
me listening to some stuff now is different from when I was 6 years old blasting Pac all the time.
Right, right. I'd
Now
rather
Pac
be your
wasn't.
N, not GG. Hey,
GG,
I'm telling y'all, listen. We used to live in Silver
hey,
City. We used to live in Silver City over there in Argentina. I remember like shit running around like in the little project playpen, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Just playing pot. I mean, I ain't no taller than a kitchen counter, and I'd rather be your N, not GG. Hey, so we
Yeah.
I mean, that's just
But
I don't
but
Wow.
know.
but don't get me wrong though, because Pac with the NIGGA, so you could get drunk and smoke weed all day. That's one thing. But you get what I'm saying? But keep your head up. Or dear mama was another thing. You get what I'm saying?
Or Brenda got a
So
baby.
or Brenda got a
Yeah.
baby. So actually, I didn't have a father to teach me. So I actually grew up like Tupac and Nas was like some of my. You get what I'm saying? But I was at a young age could recognize what to take from them that was good and what wasn't, right?
Mm-hmm.
But that wasn't always clear to me the whole time.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I would not discredit rap or the music at all. It's sad the impact of normalization
Just
because
like that. That's the side effect or the after effect of it. Yeah.
absolutely, absolutely. But that is a positive coping skill. So some of the negative. Oh, I'm sorry.
No, no, yeah, I was gonna say let's get into those negative ones, the
Yeah.
ones that we gotta
So
more stay away from. Actually, before we get into the negative one, I think one that you brought up that is extremely underrated is journaling. Now, is journaling something that you recommend to a lot of people?
absolutely. So journaling is basically for people who internalize everything, right? If they don't have like a lot of people be like, man, I don't like they don't even know what they feeling or they don't even know what to say when some situations happen. So
Mm-hmm.
journaling is a way to externalize it. You get it all out on paper. An example of something funny, and I share this with my clients too. Some of the teenagers, right? Because you know the moms be in the face and da 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 da. They coming to me because maybe they cussed out the mama or the husband and wife. They getting into it, whatever the case may be. So I tell them like this: I'm divorced now. I love my BD. We co-parent. It's what we do. But so like my BD would do some stuff, you know, and I'll blow up and flip out. Then the kids looking at me like, we thought you wasn't the crazy one, you know. So I'm like, okay, let me. So
But
what
you
I
human
started,
though. You human. You
I
feel
am
me?
human. But what I
Yeah.
started to do is journal it. Like, you get what I'm saying? So I'm writing, you stupid, ugly motherfucker. I'm gonna kick your butt. Hey, I'm getting it all out on journaling. I'm letting you
Dear
get this off because
Darla.
like, yeah, I'm journaling all this stuff out. So I was able to get everything out of here and get it out on that paper, right? We didn't even argue after that. I felt good just knowing, yeah, nigga, I'm talking about you on
Yeah.
this
Yeah,
piece of
that's
paper. You
good.
get what I'm saying? So it's just a way for you to externalize what's going on that you probably can't say or that you might react to in a negative way.
Yeah, and I think that's what you speaking to right there is so undervalued because a lot of times we feel like it's something we need to say to them, but we really just need to get it out of us.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
because
Absolutely.
saying?
and one thing and the thing that I kind of explain to people is when you think about like the thought process, right? It's four different stages, and you have you have your emotions, like what you're feeling, right? Then you have perception, and then you have interpretation and understanding, and then you have reality, right? So
Mhm.
whenever you feel something and it heightens, it like it affects your brain in a way where it floods your brain and you can't think logically. So you
Mhm.
can't do perceiving and then actually get an understanding, you know, of what's going on, and you jump right into reality. So
Mm-hmm.
basically, what you feel is what's real,
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
right? So I know all y'all probably had a time when like you felt like I don't know, maybe you felt like somebody had an attitude, right?
Mhm.
Maybe they just was like giving you a look or something that they always do when they get an attitude. And you
Mhm.
like, man, you got an attitude. Like, don't be getting, or you think they finna fight you, whatever the case may be. You
Mhm.
jumping because what you feeling is what's real, right? Whenever
Yeah.
you could
Mhm.
slow yourself down and understand, like, okay, maybe they came in looking mad because they had a bad day at work.
Yeah.
It
Mhm.
had nothing to do with me. You
Yeah.
get what I'm saying? But you already like you was in when they say you in your feelings, you in your feelings. Like
Right.
you really in your feelings. So what you feel is real. So I think
Mhm.
a lot of times when like what I was explaining, like with my ex-husband, whatever was going on, like maybe I felt like he called in to work, or I don't know what it could have been. He called in to
Look,
work.
it was your husband. It could have been anything.
I know.
I'm a husband. I'm a husband. I know. It could be
Yeah.
anything.
I'm
Be
mad
anything.
because the check gonna be short or something. Maybe that's how I felt. You get what I'm saying? I see him coming in the house. I'm mad, like, dude, you called in again, and I'm going off because what I feel is real. When he could have just been coming to get some lunch and going back to work. You get what I'm saying? But
That's
I
powerful.
didn't allow myself to even like to stop and think. And you get what I'm saying? So.
So let's get into the negative coping, because I think once if we normalize understanding what's negative coping, because a large part of the problem is with Black culture, we call it niggerizing or ghettoifying or anything that we kind of do just to kind of, if it works getting us to the next day, especially with all the bullshit we got to go through, it worked. You know what I'm saying? Like, it worked. If it got me from the start of my shift to the end of my shift, it worked. Even though sometimes a lot of those things are really something that's creating that's making the situation harder than what it actually has to be. Because like you said, I think it's important to identify that when we feel those emotions, that's real. Like, those are real feelings. The question is just.
Go ahead.
No, I was just saying the question is just how when we're working through those feelings, what it turns into. What was you about to say, Tisha?
I was just about to say, I know for me personally, I regurgitated a lot of negative things, dealing and coping, and having a therapist as a friend. She identifies those things. One of the things I did.
My friends, I'm the therapist friend. Shit, I'm the worst one. Shit. I give bad advice. I'm like, nigga, be mad. Fuck that. Don't let her talk to you like that. Nigga, you the man, nigga.
Yeah, that's terrible. Yeah, but one of the things I did was isolate myself a lot, and she would never let me do it. Like, no, she'll pull up. She'll pull up.
That's what's up, man. That's a real one.
She'll pull up in my house. Like, nah, you ain't doing this.
So we know what Tisha's toxic traits are. Well, actually, we already know. We already had this conversation. Yeah. So we already know what she be doing.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? Cursing niggas and shit. But nah, but let's get into some of these negative traits. You know what I'm saying?
Some of the negative ones, the common ones that everybody will tell you about is smoking, drinking. Yeah. Now let me say this. For medical reasons, or to calm yourself and your nerves with marijuana, I'm not saying that that's a negative way to cope. So I'm not just saying all around, but I'm saying,
but to mask it,
the overconsumption, the masking, or the numbness. This is how I used to be. I can't say I'm the same now, but like whenever I was going to drink, it's like, am I drinking because of a problem or issue, or am I already feeling cool and I'm going to enjoy a drink? You get what I'm saying? There's a difference.
Mm-hmm.
So if I'm drinking to have a ladies' night out and I'm just relaxing, I'm having some drinks, that's not negative coping, right? But if baby daddy or ex-husband then cheated and I'm sitting up here throwing back,
that's a problem.
That's negative coping. You get what I'm saying?
For full transparency. It's not all the way gone though. Like, I got like this much left. I done had this bottle for a minute.
That's positive. See, you see the
positive. No, it's my nerves. It's my nerves. I be scared to get on camera, so I need something to loosen me up. You know?
Yeah, see, and I know some therapy techniques that could desensitize that. But nerves are normal.
We gonna talk.
Nerves are normal, and they real. And the first thing is acknowledging that I'm nervous. You get what I'm saying? The late great Kobe Bryant, he said that during the interview.
R.I.P. to the GOAT.
R.I.P. He basically said that they asked him, it was the little kid's little it wasn't the hockey, it was the soccer thing. The little girl asked him, were you ever nervous before the game? And he's like, yeah, every single time. And she's like, huh? He's like, yeah. She said, well, what do you do with those nerves? He said, the first thing you have to do is own those nerves. You be aware you own them. I'm nervous right now. As soon as you can own them and accept them, sky is the limit. And we see how he did every game. You feel me? But if he would have been pretending and acting like he wasn't nervous and trying to just be like, oh, that's when you start getting the fumble. You start messing up. I was going to say fumbling like football.
I heard you say fumbling. I was going to let you make it.
I was going to let you.
I was going to let you make it because you was the guest. You know what I'm saying? If it was Tisha, I would have been like, girl, stop it. Stop it.
Look,
now.
I played basketball, and I'm talking about fumbling.
Yeah. But I mean, but I get what you're saying in terms of fumbling, because even though that is typically a sports analogy, technically the word that you use, the phrase that you're using, is that's when you start fucking up.
Actually,
You start making mental mistakes because you're more focused on kind of putting on that front instead of actually just immersing yourself into like, okay, these is my nerves, but I know what I'm doing.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
And then accepting that the nerves are normal. Man, it's so funny because like I tell people all the time. I called Quad today. I said I'm nervous about the pot. Girl, you ain't nervous. Like I'm not a robot. Like I ain't nervous. Like
I was a little insensitive because I'm used to her.
It's sensitive as hell. She must not have burned her sage yet. She must not have burned her sage
I
yet.
definitely didn't. It was early in the morning. She wake up before the birds.
But you know why she do that? The reason why she do that is my fault though, because I didn't show weakness at first, right? I'll go and speak in front of people like I own it. You get what I'm saying? So that's why people assume they don't get nervous. No, they get nervous right before like everybody else. You get what I'm saying? But it's the front that I put up to make it like, oh no. You know, now I'm learning like to accept it. To
right.
Like, yeah, I'm nervous. It's good. Yeah. But yeah, back to the negative coping. Shopping.
So we got smoking and drinking are the obvious ones though. Like you said,
those are obvious.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Go ahead.
Shopping.
Oh, let me get my wife in here real quick. Hold on.
I'm gonna get y'all with this one. Sex.
Oh shit. Sex is
Hold on. Wait.
Hold on.
Hey, what about masturbation?
Yes, masturbation.
Oh wow.
God damn.
So I'm not saying
God damn.
Don't have sex. I'm not saying I'm saying don't masturbate, but some people, that I'm friends with, they not gonna listen anyway.
You gotta live your life. You gotta live your life.
Gotta live it how you live it. But
look, anybody that's been watching the show up to episode 12 will have an understanding of why we having this conversation.
Absolutely.
We it's something we working on with Tisha. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? But that's for a different show. That's for a different show. That's for a different show. Yeah.
Go back and watch the show.
Yeah. You gotta go back to past episodes.
But let me clarify so won't nobody come running away. Sade, she don't know what she talking about. So sex is a good thing. It also could be healthy coping, right? So most coping skills could be negative, and it depends on how they're using those intentions.
Right.
So
what got you there?
When sex becomes a negative coping, say you're depressed and you're using the sex just to make you feel better, right? Now, of course, sex feels good. So I'm not saying sex is not supposed to make you feel better. But sex is supposed to be for connection and arousal or desire, right? Not just for the gratification part. So a lot of times if you pay attention to people, like some people might feel like, I don't want to talk on dudes. I'm trying to. No, I'm going in. So
do what you do. Do what you do. Don't even censor it. We too early in the shit. You know what I'm saying? In our career as podcasters to be censoring shit. Yeah. Now go ahead.
So some dudes and females. I'm not gonna just say dudes. Some dudes and females, like what they do is like, okay, say they having a bad day or they got into it with this person. This person make them feel real, real good. They got those skills, right? They gonna go there as a distraction. Really, they want to be with this person. Their heart and mind is with them, but this person is gonna give them that relief, and they go and they have sex to get that little relief, right?
The problem with that is that's something like
common.
I mean, because to be for real, that's the type of nigga I was. I ain't even gonna lie. Until I was able to get my mind right.
I'm not gonna say I didn't do that sometimes.
I was about to cut you off. I thought you was telling my business.
Like, right?
You can't be telling my business.
Because I was definitely the type like, oh, word? You gonna hang up on me?
I'm gonna show you.
Let me get the little black book. But now it's the contacts. Now it's just like, now it's nothing. Let me be clear.
Now it's nothing for you.
Now it's nothing. Me and my wife, we talk things out. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
We try to, at least. Sometimes we yell things out, but that's another conversation. But yeah, back in the day, it was just like, shit, all right, I see how it is. You feel me? And then I would kind of just jump around just primarily because it was just somebody, a woman made me feel uncomfortable, right? Either I felt emasculated because she hung up on me, or what I'm saying? I wasn't in control of the situation. It was one of them things to where if I can't control this situation, I'm gonna control another situation. Yeah.
Or she bruised your ego. Yeah.
And speaking real quick, I'm gonna say this. This is why brothers, white women is a negative coping mechanism.
Say it again. Say it again. Say that.
Brothers. White women are a negative coping mechanism. The reason why I say that, when we talk about control, let's be clear here. Niggas run to the snow bunnies because it's easier. That's it. It ain't nothing about will I value. I mean, we try to put race. I mean, they play a little bit of role, but it's just easy. It's an easier situation to control. So when you got brothers that say shit like, black women, they difficult. That is a negative, detrimental, anti-black coping mechanism, bro. And just because Becky will make you eggs, rub your feet while you cheating on her, don't make it a healthy relationship or a healthy coping mechanism.
Absolutely. Yeah, look at you. Look at you. You are all on it.
Yeah. He like a sponge.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but all those are a negative coping mechanism. Something that is negative, and I'm pretty sure people might have kind of like with the COVID going on, might have understood. They might not even thought of this as a coping mechanism, right? So when we on shutdown, we lock down, we in the house, right?
Mm-hmm.
We going crazy because usually we on the go nonstop. And this is not like just on the go working, which working is one of those things. Overworking is a negative way to cope, whether you know it or not. Yeah, you get the money, but it's sometimes you're running away from something at home, or you are like focused on maybe the money aspect, or you focus on something else. Whenever you overdo anything, and it affects other people, and it affects your sleep, your body, that's a negative way to cope. A lot like so during COVID, we realized how much I realized how much it killed me that I could not go to the restaurant, which was a positive thing at times, and have a margarita with my friends. I'm like, man, and they like we could come to the house social distance. I'm like, I want to go to a restaurant and get one of those frozen margaritas.
Something you got to pay for. I don't want y'all making my margaritas.
Y'all don't make them the same. You get what I'm saying? But like,
plus y'all gonna use that cheap tequila. I want that Don Julio.
On the go. That's a negative coping skill.
Yeah. So addressing that specifically, what is the biggest concern that Black people are dealing with when it comes to the impact of COVID? I mean, because it's a lot that came with it. You got people losing jobs. You got the quarantining, right? And so what is the biggest negative impact that came out of that conversation, or not that conversation, but that scenario?
It's so many.
What's the first one? What's the one that you feel like is like, yo, this is it? Like this is the one that you seen to be the most common.
And are you saying in lines to the events that happen or the way we cope? Which one are you asking?
Just the events in general. I mean, because more so the events. Like what in terms of COVID, we know that it has to have a mental impact. What is it that you've seen as a therapist?
As a therapist, the mental impact with us, if we want to go prior to George Floyd, like prior to that situation, the mental impact is like, as a people, we naturally cope like with each other, right? So to have all of that stripped from us, when you gotta think about it, it's usually us against the world, right? Mm-hmm. So now we can't even use us to help validate each other's feelings, like talk about some of these issues and things that we're going through, right? So I think that was really, really hard for me personally. What was hard, and I talked to a lot of other people, is knowing the fact that, man, the world ended to some other cultures when COVID happened. But to me, it's like, I'm used to this. Like, you throw something at me, I got to keep going. Mm-hmm. You get what I'm saying? So it was kind of like, for me, it was hard. It was like a highlight of the different worlds. Like, this is like, I'm talking about, y'all, I'm in grad school, right? COVID take place. They're like, oh my gosh, we think you should knock off this, and this assignment. I done already got them damn assignments done because I'm used to some things getting thrown in my way and I got to keep going. You get what I'm saying?
Right. Ain't no excuse.
I ain't got no excuses. I got to get it done regardless. So I think for a lot of people at that time, just recognizing now, just now, the rest of the world is like starting to feel the world is shutting down. When basically our world's been like turning upside down and flipping around the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
We've already had to find ways to deal with other shit. I mean, Tisha, in terms of COVID, what you feel like was the bigger issue on your mental health?
Man,
Especially
just
when they shut down, not being on that train.
yeah,
Not hearing that choo choo, girl. You just could not.
Was that a bad thing or
that was actually, you know what? That was actually one of the good things. I think being forced to be isolated. I'm an isolator. I like to be in my reclusive state. I like my solitude, but being forced to do so, I had an option, whether or not I could. But when everything surrounding you was obviously in solitude, it was like, man, this it feels dead almost.
So
that was
like taking away the little freedom that we had.
absolutely. And then it's like crazy because the moment that I do get the time to do stuff, I can't, I can't. So I'm off work to get the freedom to do stuff.
But you can't even really do nothing with
still can't do it. Yeah.
You know what? I've said this and I've tried to be, a little sensitive about this, but for me, this shit was like a year-long snow day. I appreciated it. Because I'm gonna be for real. Like I had it. Like my 2019 was busy. Like it was just a lot. It was a lot on a nigga. Like, and like you said, a part of my coping mechanism is you just got to do it. I don't give a fuck what it is. You just got to do it. Like whether I'm tired. And I had, I started my foyer into corporate America. I was, I'm working at a corporate law firm, and it's a different environment. I'm used to being like, if I'm sick, if I'm sneezing, if I ain't throwing up and falling over, I'm taking my ass to work.
I'm going.
You know what I mean? I started going up there. I walk in the office. What's going on, y'all? Sniffling? No, get out of here.
Bye.
Like, what is this? Don't get nobody else sick. Like, and with no problem. Like, yeah, just go home. Like, we good. We'll call you if you. I ain't used to that. You know what I'm saying? Because like blue collar life. I've worked in warehouses. You know what I'm saying? I worked near the dock. I worked at call centers. Nigga, are you alive? Can you walk?
Right.
Are you having any problems breathing? Okay, well, we'll see you soon.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And so being in a different environment, I was always still like, yo, I gotta get it in. And when COVID hit, as much as I come off as like a personable person, I don't like people. I don't like being around a bunch of people. I don't like entertaining a bunch of people. You know what I mean? My coping mechanism is funny that you said that. I grew up a shy kid. Cortez Carter is my cousin, best friend. That nigga's a clown. Okay. I couldn't do that. I was always the one like, all right, bro, if you do it, I'll do it. You know what I'm saying? Like if you like that's what it was. But the way that I coped with being shy was just be yourself. Just say you know what I mean? Like that, and that's what it was. And so to have COVID to where it's like I don't gotta put on a face.
Yeah.
I don't gotta put on shit. I don't gotta put on jeans. I don't gotta wear no slacks. I could wear sweatpants and t-shirts for months on end. You know what I'm saying? And have an excuse to not leave the crib. I hate, like I said, I'm trying to be cognizant of other people's experiences.
No,
you know what I mean? But yeah, this was good for me though. I appreciate it.
I get that because like I said, it was hard for me not to get a margarita, but dude, I was in an internship. I was working 2 jobs, single mother of my 4 kids plus 2 other kids, right? So my day consists of driving here, 5 hours driving here, like not getting back until later. So when I could just pull up from the house, get on the iPad and do some sessions and do some classworks, go hang out with the kids and do this, it kind of helped me kind of see what was important and see kind of like what I was spending my time, because I was just on the go. I was trying to get it done. So my experience wasn't all bad. At the beginning, it was cool. You could ask why. I left. I went to Florida. And
was you supposed to be traveling though, girl?
No,
what you doing?
No, she almost got stuck in Florida.
No, And this is them. They want to be like, oh, the schools are shutting down and the I'm like, look, we'll be back in a week. Don't tell me nothing about what's going on while I'm on my vacation. Like, no. Wherever we was social distance, we had our Airbnb. We went to a private beach. Like, it was cool, and they want to keep. I'm like, leave me alone with this COVID stuff. This is our vacation. Then I come back and deal with it. But yeah. So it was like a lot of pluses for me. Like, it's short in my time. Like, I was able to sleep. I was able to chill with the kids. I was able. After a while, it got harder. But I think with the George Floyd, with that situation, in the spite of, if we can't go out and hang out, we can't kick it, we can't do this, we're isolated, we have nothing else to do but watch this.
Right.
And y'all, that was re-traumatizing to us.
Yeah.
I'm going to tell y'all about a situation with me that I thought so when I was 6, I stayed in Minneapolis, Minnesota, in the same neighborhood where all that happened with him, right? The cops came in and beat up my mama, my sisters, my cousins. I was 6. I ran to the basement. He was finna hit me. They like, no, she's 6, so he didn't. But I'm talking about that all 4 men came and beat up a house full of women, right? So my defense mechanism with that was I pressed it down. They didn't hit me. It was sad that they hit everybody else, but all cops are not bad people. It was just them. I like cops. And people are just over-exaggerating. That's how I was. That was my defense mechanism. It was too hard for me to face the reality at that time.
Well, that's what you was dealing with, yeah.
Yeah, in order for me to survive, I'm like, cops ain't that bad. It was just them. They were just the bad ones. Hey, when this George Floyd hit, I'm looking at the riots as a therapist. I'm like, burn that precinct down. Bust that window.
Yeah.
Everything arose in me. I'm crying, my like watering, like everything. It's coming up.
Because it came back. It reminded you.
That 6-year-old little girl who felt helpless because the cops came in and beat up my whole family, all female, all female. And it was a reality that I had to face. As a therapist, I go to therapy. I'm like, hey, I am reliving this. You get what I'm saying? This is a mess. So all of that stuff, everything that was happening, all the stuff, I even got triggered. I went to the gun range with my friends. Now, I'm from the hood. I hear gunshots all the time.
Right.
I ain't gonna say what I did, but I've been in that environment. Right?
You was letting some off. You know what I'm saying? Fuck the bullshit.
I've been in that environment.
She said, give me I'm paying for a whole clip.
Yeah.
I'm paying for the whole joint.
I go to the gun range and I'm shooting the gun and I see me as a little girl on the ground. I see a situation where I saw this person get shot, like I'm reliving all of this. My friends looking like, are you good? Are you straight? I'm like, kind of like walking back and forth pacing, like trying to get this. Y'all, as I'm shooting, all I see is faces. People that I didn't feel like I forgave. Hey, I'm like,
man, I'm trying to like, I'm considering like, why are we friends again?
You know what I'm saying? They're like, girl, open your eyes. Open your eyes, girl. Don't shoot with your eyes closed, cause you gotta open them up, girl.
Now I need some healing from this conversation.
Look. No, you know it's crazy how I ain't you know, some as a kid. Now I ain't trying to get it too deep, but I did witness a murder as a kid when I was in first grade. My god brother, somebody tried to rob us. My stepfather had actually been killed like a week earlier, and somebody was trying to rob our home, and my stepbrother kind of got into a shootout with him. Like, I mean, this is in my living room. And you know, we watched him lose his life right there. Me and my 4 siblings, like he died right there in front of us.
Wow.
And now as an adult, right, as a kid, like you said, my stepfather just died. Somebody just died in front of us. Like, this is kind of just like the norm. You know what I'm saying? Like we was talking about. Fast forward to like I want to say about probably like 5 years ago. It was 4th of July. Me, my mom, my wife, and some other people. We had this like 4th of July celebration at the Ozarks. Now, these are all people from back home, people that, you know what I'm saying, that knew me as a kid growing up. We all just kind of doing a family thing. And I got a huge bottle of a Ciroc. Because it's a celebration. I'm here with my family, you know what I'm saying? We kicking it. And, you know, they just started talking, and they started reminiscing about things, and then they started reminiscing about Mikey, my god brother that got killed. And I didn't kind of live my life knowing that happened to me, but as an adult, that was never something that I addressed. It was just like it is what it is. I don't talk about it. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. But it was like as an adult, I ain't gonna lie, I was liquored up. I was feeling good. I drank like half the bottle by my damn self. It was peach Ciroc. Y'all know how that be.
It sneaks up on you.
Yeah. But out of nowhere, like just hearing them talk about it, I just broke down in tears. Now it's easy to blame it on the liquor. You know what I'm saying? Like, because I was lit. But I had never actually kind of addressed like what that did. Because I started thinking like, yo, what impact did that have on me?
Hey,
how did that change me as a person?
Let me tell you something right there. I'm happy that you said that. So how old was you when this happened?
I want to say, what? How old are you in like first grade?
Like 6 or 7.
7, like 7, 8 years old. Yeah, I was usually older because my birthday in November, so I was probably like 7, 8.
You carried that with you that entire time, right? So what your mind, it went into survival mode. It pushed it down. You suppressed those feelings, right? But the whole thing about it, and this is why we need counseling so much, because as a people we suppress so much, but your body keeps the score. Your body knows.
She said your body keeps the score. See, you know she went to school for this. She went to school for this. People don't just say shit like that. She went to school for this.
It's a book. Y'all should check it out. It's a really, really good
and
book.
Also from a holistic point of view, your cells have cell memory. So you're obviously going to remember. Your cells is going to remember and adapt to everything that you feed it. So it's going to remember it.
And your brain, what your brain does with trauma, it stores it in one of the. So if it's too much, it goes to the unconscious. It's out your head and out your mind. You get what I'm saying? And then it'll seep up. And sometimes it'll come out in different ways. Like, you know how a person just flip out and snap for nothing. Mm-hmm. And you like, I don't even really know what I snapped about. Well, that was that little thing seeping up and coming out. You get what I'm saying? So back to what I was saying about you. You held that stuff for so long, right? And let it out then, whether you was drunk or not. Yeah, it's true. When you drunk,
I was lit. But
let me tell you what alcohol do. It lets down your defenses so that you could actually feel what's been going on the whole time. A lot of people be like, man, they just over exaggerating they drunk. Nah, y'all heard a drunk don't tell no lies, like they telling their truth. That just came out. So imagine, like, as a community, how many incidents or situations or experiences like that all of us didn't have numerous of time, some worse, some might not be, but we just carry it around, right? And one thing about mental health and your body keeping the score, that people want to link our high blood pressure, our diabetes, like all that stuff to just our diet. But no, if you're not mentally right and your body is take like all this stress, the pain, the hurt, your body still is keeping score of that stuff. That causes sicknesses and diseases. You get what I'm saying? So a lot of people are so quick to say it's our diet because we eat soul food and we eat some stuff, you know. But no, it actually has a lot to do with your mental health.
Because that stress is real, right? Like that stress plays it turns into mental anguish and creates like physical. It has a physical impact.
Absolutely. Every metaphysical say that everything has a mental correspondence with your body. So all everything has a correspondence with your body, and it can create rheumatism in your body. What you feed it, the negative energy, the negative thoughts, all those things, the trauma, all those things that you experience have a correspondence with your health and your body as well. So she's absolutely right. Absolutely right. Stress is one of the leading causes of death. Stress, because they don't understand that everything that you're dealing with came from stress, like heart problems, cancer, high blood pressure, obesity. All those things are byproducts of stress. All those things are byproducts of stress.
If your body is keeping the score, but you're not even aware that it's keeping score, how are you gonna do something about that?
Absolutely.
You know what's crazy? A part of that, and I got some more questions I want to get to, but
I got some questions too, man.
Yeah. No, listen. I'll say this, and then I'll let you get your question off. It's crazy how as we talk about things that we cope that actually has a larger impact on us than we think. Going from that to like my experiences, I remember my freshman year in college was extremely difficult because a part of it, when we talk about this stress, I never felt like I was in college just because, oh, this is what you were supposed to do. Like I felt like I'm in college because I'm trying to get a better job so I could like do all of this other shit for my family. So even as a freshman, you feel me? Like there's this, it's a weight that I have felt on my shoulders. That it wasn't just about making good grades so I could just get a good job. It was like, nah, like I need to be able to pay for it. Like my younger brother was in jail at the time and he was only like 17, 18, you know what I'm saying, doing like a year and a half or whatever. It was crazy. And so, it's little things like that to where, we are going through, we literally live with the trauma of just the experiences of blackness on our shoulders every single day. And we carry that with us unknowingly because that's just kind of the weight of where we come from, like the weight of what we deal with. Like we don't do none of this is just about us. It's always about like impacting the community. Like I mean, like you said, you want to be in Wyandotte because when you in Olathe just dealing with them white people in Olathe, it's like, oh, John just doesn't listen to me. You know what I'm saying?
Now listen, don't get me wrong. Hey, because I got some clients in Olathe. I don't want them thinking. But
no. That's me talking shit. That's me talking shit. That's the political plug talking shit.
They know what I stand for too, so they know that I'm passionate about Wyandotte or I'm passionate about the city.
But the reason why you want to be in Wyandotte is because like what just the people in that county are walking in Kansas City, Kansas are walking around enduring and not thinking about it, but just because like you said, they just in survival mode.
Hey, and listen, I'm not in Wyandotte no more. I'm from Wyandotte, but I'm just last week, BD went back to jail. My mama got stabbed 20 times. You get what I'm saying?
Word.
This was just my life last week, right?
Yeah.
So we take the fact that I have resources. I'm a therapist. I know. And I numb. When I saw my mama like that, I didn't have time to feel. I went into survival mode. It was too much. But I know survival mode was beneficial for that time. But now I got to talk to a therapist because that was traumatizing. Like that was traumatizing, right? But think about the person who don't know that. Think about our culture who is like, ain't nobody going to no therapist. I'm not crazy. I'm not going to be on no meds. I don't want them in my business. You know what I'm saying? Think about them. How do they deal with that?
What question you have, teacher?
That was powerful. My question to you is, what can we do? Or I'm sorry, how can we dismantle the negative stigmas of our culture, and what steps can we take to start a healing process?
Yeah, I think the first thing is what y'all doing right now, talking about it, bringing awareness to the need of it. I think it's going to be so important. Like my goal is always to find people who look like me who's doing therapy, right? Because it's a whole nother thing being Black, and then to seek mental health from people that you feel like kind of ashamed to tell your story to, or they're not going to get it anyway.
Okay.
You get what I'm saying? So I think raising awareness for the conversation and to dismantle those stigmas, we have to really talk about the stuff that people don't want to discuss. And like I said, that's what y'all podcasts do. So I think that is a big thing. And how does the healing start? The healing starts by talking about it first and then making sure that you have resources and people who you could refer out to and that you could send them to. You get what I'm saying? And then like you just got to know how to lead them in the right direction.
Absolutely. I
and
love
speaking
that.
of that, while I'm on here, people who know me personally, this can't be an option for you all, like personal. But if it was a past person, we could. But I have resources right now. It's grant that is willing to pay for anybody who just want to try counseling. Try it for 3 sessions. They'll pay for it completely. So y'all can hit me up on my website, riseupresiliencycenter.org. Y'all can get in contact with one of them for my information on that, because it is so important that us as a people, we take advantage of this. Because I'm going to tell y'all this. They come, like when I think about a marital situation, right? Our community, we'll see counseling as the last result, meaning like, man, if you hear a girl say, if you're not gonna go to counseling with me, then I'm leaving, right? After they didn't already cheated, beat it, they didn't already did everything under the sun, and now it's like, okay, counseling is the last result. What they do is as soon as there's a communication barrier, they're in counseling. You get what I'm saying?
Who's they?
Who not us. Caucasians, white
There
people.
we go.
And even people from different socio-economical statuses.
Look, we are not politically correct over here. She's talking about them white folk.
That's what I'm saying.
Them white folk.
I just wanted her to say it. Like, who is
No,
they?
yeah, the white people.
Girl, but you know she working on Olathe. You can't have her running around talking about white people this, white people that working on Olathe.
White people, because I said to them too. But I got some friends from the hood that's white too. So you get what I'm saying? So one thing is a racial situation, but also it's a social economical, because white people in the inner city is not going to go to therapy either, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then you have
or in the country,
or the rural.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. And then you
but she's so professional. I said country. She said the rural areas.
And then you have black people who have money. Y'all watch Love and Hip Hop. What they doing? We're going to talk to a therapist. You get what I'm saying? So that's why I'm just, when you like,
because VH1 pay for it.
Pay for it. I'm about to say all the propaganda, stigma, all this.
Hey, my thing is they getting the word out and making therapy look cool.
Absolutely.
You feel me? Whatever it's gonna take to do that, I'm with. So so that's why it's like so important for us to take advantage of it and those resources. If y'all got questions, because some people like, what do I need to go to therapy for? I'm gonna tell you like this, like, I don't see what you don't need to go to therapy for, honestly. It's so many things. It's just beneficial. Basically, I wanted to explain the therapeutic process, what it is, because a lot of people think they're going to give you advice. No, that's a life coach. That's Miss Tisha Marie over here. She'll give the advice. But they think they
after she reads your natal chart, we do natal chart readings once a month. It's coming up now. We in October. That means it's coming up. Shout out, you want your natal chart read? I know she didn't probably read your natal chart, but I bet you won't read it online though.
I consult with her about my own. Like I said, she could say I'm her therapy. Hey, but my bestie, she's with those natal charts, and I'm like, hey, help me understand, because me and her had talks. The stuff that she could see in the natal chart, usually I could get off of conversations and relational pieces. So I'm just wired that way where I could pick up on things.
But she just do it with the birthday and the time of birth.
She does it with that. And
it's weird, but it's witchcraft. I done told y'all it's witchcraft. No, hey, but just a quick plug.
Hey, speaking of witchcraft. Okay.
No. Speaking of witchcraft, what?
Oh, I was gonna say, speaking of witchcraft, I had a pastor tell me that counseling was a form of witchcraft.
Oh Lord.
Wow.
Dude, you can't trust them niggas. I mean, listen, I was a youth pastor. Hold on, I was a youth pastor though. I was raised in the church.
Yeah.
I was raised in the church now, and I ain't against it.
So this not a
niggas be wilding. Niggas be wilding. They be saying some wild shit.
I'm not gonna say it's wilding. I think it's a lack of understanding of who Jesus is and what he did. Right. A lot of people, they look at Jesus as the Christ. He rose from the dead. He's our savior. Right. They forget when he was here on earth, he cried. He was angry. He had anxiety.
That nigga flipped up. He flipped the whole church. He was turning tables upside.
He flipped the table and did the whip. You get what I'm saying? He confronted the Pharisees like, hey, what y'all doing?
Crookie, y'all wrong. Making money in the church.
You get what I'm saying? But a lot of believers, they just have a misconception of who he was, and they deny their own humanity. And to deny your own humanity is to deny the fact that you need God.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying? And that's
powerful.
deep. That's deep. And that's my message to the church. That's what I, go and talk about right there. That's like a whole nother thing.
Hey,
we gonna have to do that too. That's another show. We're gonna have to do that. You got a question, Tisha?
Hey, actually it's gonna be combined because I know we pressing for time. But I want to know about the mass majority or the percentage of the unhealed people in our community, and also I want to let you shout out your conference that's coming up at the end of the month too.
Okay.
Yeah.
So the percentage.
I do got one more question after this though.
The percentage of people that is not healed, I'm gonna phrase it like this: we're all just one life situation and circumstances away from a mental illness.
That's powerful.
We are all.
So you mean to tell me tomorrow something can happen to me to make me have a mental illness?
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely.
Wow.
Absolutely. Especially for us, like Black
Mm.
people. Anything
Wow.
could take you there. And if you look back and think about maybe some old friends and stuff, maybe they was surviving, they was doing this, and then grandma died.
Maintaining.
And then they couldn't maintain, they couldn't hold it up no more, right?
That's
Wow.
crazy. See, I can't even. I gotta stop saying that. Because I say that's crazy as a way to be like, what the fuck? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
The
Like,
words mean something. Words have meaning, and it comes
yeah.
from a place inside of us. Yeah. Yeah.
absolutely.
Well, let me ask you this though, as we kind of approach the end of it. That hour went fast too.
Did
Um,
talk a lot.
yeah, yeah. You see, like
Don't forget
I ain't the
that.
only
Don't forget
one. I
that
get to.
conference too.
I'm not. I'm
All right.
already on it. I'm just
Oh no,
gonna.
yeah. I'm gonna ask you this, and then we're gonna get into all of the. You know what I'm saying? All of the plugs, all of that, right? What are with everything that's going on that we was talking about, like you said, George Floyd, and we got Breonna Taylor, we had Ahmaud Arbery, like just when we start going through the names, it's just like I mean the brother that just I forget his name, but the brother that was just murdered in Texas.
In
Yeah.
Texas.
I mean somebody who was supportive of the police, and I just want to point this out here. You could be supportive of the police, against the police, with Black Lives Matter, against Black
Yep.
Lives Matter. They will still
They gonna get
kill
you.
your ass.
They will. Absolutely.
Uh, but with all this that's going on, how do we maintain our mental stability and still keep ourselves informed? What do we do? Like, what are some tactics, some methods that you employ when you see, other than going to the gun range, closing your eyes, and just letting off clips?
That wasn't healthy. That wasn't healthy.
But what are some things that you feel like that Black people could embrace during when we are dealing with, because it's not over, right? Like, I mean, we're gonna have another as terrible as it sounds.
Mm-hmm.
I'm an Afro pessimist. I love Black people and I love everything that has to do with Blackness, but I understand that in this world, like, Blackness has a certain connotation. So I don't expect it to be the end of, it's gonna be another George Floyd, it's gonna be another Breonna
Yeah.
Taylor, it's gonna be another Sandra Bland. Unfortunately, knowing this, how do we cope with not even necessarily cope? Because I don't want to just cope. You know what I'm saying? I want us to be more productive, and
Mhm.
and I think the words that I'll use is deliberate. I want us to be more deliberate about how we go about protecting our psyche, protecting our spirit. So from your perspective, what are things that you employ or things that you know that could be done to stay informed, to know what's going on, but still not succumb to a lot of the tragedy that Black people endure, especially on the media?
Yeah. I think it has to be a balance, because when we say stay informed, some people can't. Some people have to shut that off because it's going to drive them crazy. So
Mm.
it's just understanding. If you are at the point where that is all you think about and you just spending time no, that is re-traumatizing. That is unhealthy for your psyche. Like, you have to stop that and cut that off. So I think the first thing is just being aware of what's going on inside of you, right? When them feelings come up and those things, you own those. But
Mhm.
it's okay if it's too much for you to watch and to talk about. It's okay you don't have to feel pressured in the conversations. Like, Kwa has called me before. What do you think about this situation? I'm like, Kwa, I can't even get on that right now. I can't. I'm just surviving right now. I can't talk about that. So
Yeah.
it's okay. So one thing for sure is with this movement, with this Black Lives Matters, with the protesting, with all of this, you have to be aware of like what's going on inside of you and what you could take and what you can't. Don't be pressured to do the stuff if it's traumatizing to you, right?
Mhm.
Don't allow somebody else to force this up on you. Don't just constantly watch it so you can be up to date with the conversations. And I'm gonna tell you like this. I know the situations regarding some of those names, but some of it was too hard for me to even like take on at those times, right? So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna pray. I'm gonna pray and ask God to help the family and help the situation. But I am not gonna be like reading the articles and doing this and doing that. So I think that's the first thing, is having that balance. Understanding what's going on inside of you, how is it impacting you, and is this going to be beneficial to you? You have some people that look at that and they go to action, right? They're gonna be like, okay, I have that resources. I'm gonna use this platform to talk about it, and they do that, right? You have
Mhm.
other people who can't. It tears them up. So just
Mhm.
recognize which one of those you are and be comfortable and cool with that. Your job might not be to be at the forefront protesting, right? That might not be your job, and that's fine. So I think that's the first thing that's first. Some of the stuff that I do, I see a therapist. I'm gonna just be real.
Yeah,
I gotta go see a therapist. Gotta go see a therapist, right? I take time out for myself. We talked about isolation. To isolate for a certain purpose, like to gather your thoughts or get yourself together, is one thing, right? But to isolate, to just run from everything and everybody and shut the rest, that's unhealthy. But some of us got to take some time for ourselves. We might have to take a day off of work if we got hella sick time and and we just one of them people, we got to work, 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 work. No, maybe you need to take a day off and just chill. Mm-hmm. And figure out like what's going on in you. I'm a big advocate of that. I got through grad school, y'all. I'm telling y'all. I skipped an assignment for each class. My friend said, "You crazy." I'm like, nope. That assignment is only worth 10 points. I could still get an A in this class.
Yeah, knock off that 10. I ain't gonna worry about it. Yeah.
I'm not even finna work my mind. You get what I'm saying? So you gotta have a balance. You gotta know what's going on. And you just like,
she said, "I'll take that 0."
I'll take that 0 straight like that. And they like, miss
for your mental.
Yeah, it's for my mental.
And look, and she graduated.
And I
what y'all talking about? You know what I'm saying?
I had all A's and 2 B's. So you get what I'm saying?
So she was skipping assignments for some classes more than others, but it's still A's and B's. It's still,
I told myself I got one assignment to skip each class. Whichever one I feel like is a headache and I'm not doing it, and it's not worth that much. Hey, it's a done deal. Don't even talk to me about the I don't want to hear you go study it. I'm not doing it.
I feel that.
But yeah, so real talk, that's important. So when I say go talk to somebody, go talk to a counselor, like it's counselors that look like me, it's counselors that look like y'all, it's counselors that you can relate to. And I want to just say general information. Most jobs have an employee assistance program where they will pay for a couple of the sessions for free.
EAP. EAP. It's a lot of jobs got that. Yeah.
Because some people be like, oh, it's too high and it's too this. Try the EAP, right? And then don't always not call or get the information. You could go on Psychology Today and look for therapists. You can hit me up if you in this area. I could kind of get some resources and stuff. But yeah, I would say utilize that. If you have any spiritual practice, whether it's be Nam Yaho Renge Cure or you pray.
Y'all see what I deal with.
Or you or you play with rocks.
Oh yeah.
I'm about to go. Y'all got the rest of
this.
You can't be attacking my co-host. You can't be talking to co-host. Look, that's it's the Over 30 holistic expert Tisha Marie. They're called crystals.
You know what? I done had to correct about 5 people to
do that. I'm sorry for therapists. Crystals. I respect your crystals. But whatever
my mental health is being compromised.
Whatever you have to do spiritually, keep that up. And then also during this time, y'all, although I said shopping is a bad coping skill, if shopping is what you're doing to maintain, don't drop that yet, right? Any of this stuff that I'm saying is bad, don't just drop it because I said it. Like, I am just saying general information. If you already seen a therapist, talk to them. If you're not, go get one. You get what I'm saying? All that stuff is survival mode. Some of us are just surviving right now.
Absolutely.
Also, Harley Quinn pointed out in the chat, you can get FMLA. That's what is FMLA? Is that federal family? Yeah, medical leave of absence.
Yep, that's absolutely correct. That's good, cousin. Hey, cousin, she in Minnesota, y'all.
All right, shout out to cousin in Minnesota.
What's up, Harley Quinn? What's up?
But yeah, that's true.
And then Tisha, from a holistic standpoint. From the standpoint of understanding your inner self and the stars and the earth and the universe.
And all of it.
How do you think adding on these more mental strategies that we've learned from Sister Sade, how do you think people should cope? Not cope, actually. Let's say elevate.
Elevate. I love that.
Say
elevate.
I like that.
Yeah.
I knew y'all would. That's all I said. I knew y'all would.
Evolution.
Rise up, actually.
How do you elevate?
How do you rise up? That's what you call branding, people. She came with the backdrop and she just introduced her brand within the whole catchphrase. See, look, we need to talk. Go ahead, Tisha. Talk to the people.
For a pure and true evolution of your mind, body, and soul. I think it's imperative that you actually um, you do talk, and you also figure out who you are and what you're, like she mentioned before. I think that was very important when you said to not go cold turkey and drop everything, because as people, I think those coping mechanisms are in place for us, like she said, to survive. And when you have someone to talk to and to support you and to tell you, like a therapist or a life coach or something, like me myself, I'm a life coach,
Like
to
her.
tell you to tell you those things are good, and who you are, and what you're about. Some of those things you're already doing may be already good for you.
Yeah.
So I think having those resources is really, really, really great to have. And just for full evolution of yourself is knowing yourself. And by knowing yourself, seeking help, and for people to actually help you align with your fullest and highest potential of yourself. So, and I think by that and on that trajectory, you're gonna heal. It's inevitable for you not to heal. You know what I mean? So when you take those steps of seeking those resources, and that person or the support system is helping you find yourself, and you have all your healing mechanisms that you're dealing with and you're coping with at that time, you're gonna evolve. You're gonna evolve. I think
Meditation. I didn't know
yeah,
that. Meditate.
yeah. Meditate, yeah, yeah. And some of the things that I do personally, I meditate, I take
Burn
detox
sage
baths.
Detox.
Yeah, definitely sage my energy and aura. I use
charges her crystals.
crystal therapy. I use aromatherapy, my essential oils. I work out, I play basketball, I hang with my friends, talk with my friends.
Sometimes you play basketball.
Yeah,
Sometimes, but
sometimes
she ain't
if
got
I'm
them
not hurting
Meg knees
myself.
though. She ain't got them Meg knees.
If I'm not hurting myself, I do a plethora of things to help me cope and heal, and it's so imperative that you have healthy
Yeah.
things around you all the time. Clear those relationships that's not good for you, that's not feeding your mental. Clear those, and I'm talking about relations, not talking about men, women, men. I'm talking about parents, cousins, family, friends, all those things that's not good for you. And when I say parents, I'm not saying cut your parents completely off. I'm saying you can still love your
Some
parents
of
from a
them, shit. I love my
distance.
mama and my daddy, but
You can
damn,
still
some of
love your
y'all.
parents from a
I,
distance.
I would say emotional cutoff is one of the worst things you could do, but I will say the correct term is put boundaries in place.
Right.
Put boundaries.
Yeah, yeah. So yeah, and just have those have healthy things around you, have positive things around you, people that's feeding you and fueling you to elevate and to evolve. And I think those things and what she said, I think they all kind of have similarities to it, because it is, you have all those things. I think it's pretty much inevitable for you not to evolve in a healthy way, And I think if a community of people do that, I always like to say, unhealed community is like a big STD in the community, and we're
Oh
just
shit.
passing it from one person to the next,
That's
and
right.
Damn.
I
everybody is
like that.
contracting this STD
She said
because
y'all
no
mental health is
one.
like herpes.
It is, it is, it is.
That's it.
Except for herpes is incurable, so I would say something like gonorrhea.
Gotta yeah, but look, that's just nasty. But look, y'all mental health is nasty. Y'all need to get right. Go see somebody.
No,
Go
seriously,
to go see them
seriously.
people. Go see them people.
Don't let nobody tell you herpes is incurable. It's definitely curable. But ultimately what I'm saying is, if you're in a community with infested people, and no one is healing, you're just spreading
Hey,
it from one person to the next. So I think it's to subjectively heal, take those steps. That's how they say. Even check her out at Rise Up Resiliency Center.
Or
And .org or on Facebook. You can find our Facebook business page. But yeah, I think it's imperative. And I'm for one that's not, I'm not afraid of therapy at all. I'm not
that's what's up.
afraid of therapy. I know it's a stigma around it, but I think it's imperative. I think it's imperative. We can see our community blossom so much if we actually sit down and subjectively heal, not heal upon someone else, not get a boyfriend and think we healed, not use sex and think we healed, not them temporary things, not go out every weekend and think that we're healed. I'm talking about actually dig deep within yourself and find those things that you buried and suppressed within yourself. I'm talking about over years, layers and layers and layers of unhealed traumas and abandonment issues and all those other things that can create these this community of unhealed people. Just go through and actually dig deep and actually heal yourself
Yeah,
subjectively. You
I was
stick to yourself.
yeah. And that's actually what the therapeutic process does. It helps you feel safe enough to explore those things in a non-judgmental environment. So
Absolutely.
just wanted to kind of add that.
And look, I ain't got no
Absolutely.
positive advice for y'all. I'm all bad coping mechanisms. I drink,
No,
I smoke, I play video
uh-uh.
games, and then I
Don't
do
do
other
that
things
though,
that we ain't
because
gonna talk
listen,
about.
my job is to take what you already have in you and just and help you bring that out and just transform it in a more healthier way. So everything that you said is not bad. It's all the intent behind it
It's
and
doing it
yours.
healthy.
Absolutely. So
Mhm.
yeah, I would say you don't take away something without replacing it with something else.
Yeah.
Because then
See,
you'll
see me and my problem is I'm like Beyonce and them. I'm a survivor. You feel me?
hey,
Uh,
we all are survivors.
that's how we
We
get
all
down.
are
Go ahead.
survivors.
You said you got a conference coming up.
Yes, I have a conference for all the Christians, all the no, it's a rise up conference, a women's conference. It's absolutely free. It's via
Shout out to
Zoom.
Chris X.
Yes, and it's going to be really amazing. I'll be talking about mental health. So on there, you'll get kind of, not to say that this wasn't structured, this was a dialogue, but it'll be really a blueprint of like the benefits of mental health, ways you could seek mental health, the importance of it, the stigma behind it. And then I'll also add in what he was asking about. I couldn't give too much. Y'all got to tune in, but it will be really some techniques and some coping skills and plans that you could kind of implement yourself until you are able to get to a therapist or until that's more of a something that you could
Yeah.
do. So that conference is October the 30th and the 31st. You could go up to RURC underscore therapy on Instagram and Facebook to get the link for registration. So yeah, go ahead and check that out. Also on my personal page, Sade Gar, it's a link on there as well. So y'all, that's going to be really, really good. It's a lot. It's women. We rising up in our mental health, finances, and our physical health and our spirituality. It's like it's a dope roster. So y'all don't want to miss that. And
Yeah,
then
I mean,
also
yeah. Go
don't
ahead. No,
forget
go ahead.
free therapy sessions. You could get 3. You could try it. If in anything, whether you know me or not, as a therapist, by the state law, everything has to be confidential. I'm not gonna lose my license for none of y'all. So whatever we discuss will be between me and you. Nobody else will know. So y'all hit me up. Don't be afraid. If you don't want me to be your therapist, I could definitely point you in the right direction. It's not gonna hurt. Just try it out for 3 times. If you like it, keep going. If not, hey, at least you tried it. At least you could say you tried it.
At least you
No,
tried it.
and people like listen. Support black people that's supporting black people.
Absolutely.
RURC therapy on Facebook and on Instagram. Register. I mean, whatever.
Absolutely.
I mean, we need to start using the resources that black people are making available for other black people.
Absolutely.
This is really about healing like mindsets. When we heal minds, we heal communities. When we heal communities, we start to heal people, like
Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
large groups of people. You know what I'm saying? Support black people that's supporting black people. So it's
Absolutely.
RURC therapy on Instagram or
Underscore therapy.
underscore therapy. See, I was fucking up. RURC underscore therapy on Instagram. And then on Facebook, is it just RURC therapy?
Underscore therapy.
Underscore therapy. It's underscore both times. Don't forget the underscore. If you put it in search, it may pop up, but if you don't see it, make sure you put that underscore in there. Is it anything else you got upcoming?
That's about it for now. Outside, I will have an open house for my practice in Olathe coming up in October, and then I will be running some groups, y'all. It's a song series. It's dope. It's like appealing to our community. One of them is "Love Is Blind." That's for battered women. One of it is "Meet Me at the Altar." That's for all y'all that feel like y'all found that one, and I could help you see if you really found that one, or prepare you to have a forever for them. Another one is by Al Green. Let's Stay Together. That's for people who are already in relationships and in marriages to enhance it. So I got a lot of stuff coming that's popping. Yeah, one of them is for the baby mamas, the Fantasia song. We got some baby mamas. You know, we heard on some things that we needed. You know, so I'm trying to come in every area that's appealing to us. And that we can relate to kind of heal. And those would be groups. So groups is less expensive and it's like multiple people in there. Everybody will have to keep everything confidential, but it really gives a way for you to share experiences and learn coping skills and ways on how to heal in a community setting. So,
Man, that's what's up. Well, I definitely appreciate you gracing us with your information, your presence, breaking down, what Black people need to do better. We definitely gonna have you back. You know what I'm saying? We definitely
Absolutely.
gonna have
looking
you
forward
back.
to it. Absolutely.
Because it's more conversations to be had in terms of the mindset and the mentality of Black people and what Black people are going through, and ultimately, because what I really wanted to I wanted to get into the epigenetics and how traumas pass down genetically and all those type of
Yeah.
things. That's
Yeah,
a
Yes.
whole
We
another
definitely need a
conversation.
part two. We
Yeah,
definitely need
that's
a
a
part
whole
absolutely.
two.
another conversation, man.
Absolutely.
Trauma is like what again, how our cells are informed of our experiences. That's
Absolutely.
that's
Exactly.
crucial.
Yeah.
But that's a whole other conversation. That's a whole other
That's the
conversation.
whole and speaking on that level, I am trained in what's called EMDR, which is the number one recommended therapy for trauma. So I am trained in that. It is like amazing. I'm talking about talk therapy can be lengthy or not, but EMDR is like more of a he'll handle the trauma from a neuroscience perspective, dealing with your brain and your memory. And y'all, like you said, you had anxiety or nervousness. Like I had helped a couple of people with test anxiety, right? They went in there, took the test, passed it, no problem. Didn't feel
Wow.
any anxiety. You get what I'm saying? You got
Wow.
people who were rape victims. Whenever they husband or somebody would touch them, they would freeze up because they experienced, they was reliving that rape all over. EMDR helped clear them up. You get what I'm saying? People who have to have control all the time. Like it's a lot of us, we got to be in control of everything. That
Mhm,
also could be stemmed from a sense of trauma. You
mhm.
get freed up of that. I will tell you, I was one of them. Hey, I like having control. Now I can sit back like, hey, that ain't even my responsibility. Like it's cool and it's so relieving. But I had did EMDR, so that's something really that I'm going to be advertising because our community needs it so
Absolutely.
much.
I think so. I got one more question. I don't want to leave because I know we are gonna do a part two, but I'm so scared that I'm not gonna remember it. So
'Cause I definitely forgot the call. I was like, I ain't gonna remember, and I definitely
yeah,
forgot. Go
yeah.
ahead. Yeah.
Yeah, I need to eradicate that word scared. I'm not scared. But anyway,
Now you scared?
how
It's okay.
how has how has being a therapy affected your life? Like how does hearing so many people's traumas and life circumstances affected you as a therapist? Is that hard or is it difficult or challenging for you as a human being to take so much of other people's problems?
Good question. So I would say for me, I don't feel like it is, right? This is my passion. Like this is what I was created for. This is why God purposed me. So a lot of times I could be having so much going on, y'all. I go into that therapy room and I'm with them, I'm helping them, and I get energy when I leave. You get what I'm saying? Some situations are hard. And with most therapists, like say it's a situation where maybe a kid was raped. And maybe you talking to the person who did it. I'm a mother. That could be hard. You get what I'm saying? So
Damn.
therapists consult and they have a person in the field that they talk to and discuss some of those things to help them navigate their feelings so they won't project it out on the next person. You get what I'm saying?
Wow.
So yeah, for the
Mhm.
most part, most therapists we have to link with each other and we have to have those communication, not identifying who the clients are and what they are, but just talking in general so we can get consultation on how to handle it to check ourselves because I am a human being and some of the situations are sad. And I would say one of the things that I do with my clients is I'm transparent and I'm real. If something is going on that's bothering them, that makes me sad. I could shed some tears with them. You get what I'm saying? And then on the
Mhm.
flip side, if something is good for them, I'm happy. And I'm because it's something in a room called transference where I could feel what you feel. You get what
Mm.
I'm saying?
Mhm.
So I just think that it's not necessarily hard for me because this is my purpose and my passion. And I know why you
Absolutely.
probably could relate to that when you were reading the charts and you doing your life coach, and it's something that you feel like you're placed for, it gives you energy. And
It
it's
does.
nothing like,
It's invigorating. Yes.
yep, it's nothing
Absolutely.
like being able to go in a room and do that for me. So to me, it's very rewarding.
Absolutely.
That's what's up, man. Well, yeah, we're gonna have to do this again. Clearly, and it's October. We in a new month, so yeah, y'all know what that means. It's natal chart readings.
We're gonna have
Trying to understand yourself. You want to know the science of you?
Yeah.
Come fuck with us. We're gonna get into it.
She don't. I'm telling you. We finna work on something on how to collaborate because she's dope.
Yeah, we were talking about doing some collaborations. I do have a life coach business as well. It's called Infinite Stars Holistics. I do a plethora of things in that business under that umbrella. But one of the things is spiritual life coach, in which you can have a package to accentuate on any type of life problems you're dealing with. And in those packages, you will get your natal reading, you will get your numerology readings, you will get your love language reading, your personality test readings, and your birth card readings, all kinds of readings to identify who you are and help you reach your fullest potential.
Niggas, black women are going above and beyond to understand black people.
We are.
We got to catch up, bro. We got to catch up. You know what I'm saying? We can't just be sitting back playing 2K and shit. And they like, I'm reading. I can read your whole. You got an energy color around. What's it called? Your aura.
Aura.
Like niggas is sitting around with auras. And sisters is seeing auras.
On that low frequency level.
You know what I'm saying? Like low vibrational shit. You know what I mean? See, we gotta understand that. We gotta know all of that. So y'all stay tuned. Y'all pay attention. We're gonna be up on game. We'll be letting y'all know when we doing the next natal chart readings. Again, we do a brief reading to let you see her skills. And then if y'all want to go more a little bit in depth, you know what I'm saying? She is available for the more in-depth, more personal, more specific readings. You feel me? But we've been rocking out for a minute now. And we're gonna go ahead and close it out. Y'all got any last words y'all want to impart to the people? Let's get them Instagrams, let's get them Facebooks, them TikToks, whatever you got. Let's drop it on them one more time just so everybody know what's up.
All right, I'll go first. Hit me up on Instagram or all social media platforms. I'm sorry, at Infinite Stars Holistics and Infinite Stars Incorporation, and Over 30 Podcast.
Yeah,
I'm on all three platforms or all three businesses on all platforms. So yeah,
can't nobody spell omniscient though, so that's why don't nobody follow her. Can't nobody spell omniscient.
Yeah, you know what? I need to work with that. But
yeah.
Also, I have a youth special educational business. I'm a holistic expert.
And she wrote a children's book.
Yeah, I also wrote a children's book. We're gonna have to talk about that one. We're gonna talk about that.
And speaking of that, that's on my webpage. So y'all need to go to riseupresiliencycenter.org. It is a list of resources for clients that the body keeps the score. We got her book on there and post.
I did not know that.
Yes, see, that's bad. On the client resources, it's this book.
She ain't real. She ain't been to the website. That's all it is.
I Am Ruth is on there. That's it's a really, really good book. It's like a lot of books for marriages, step families, couples, individuals. Go on that client resources and also check out my autobiography. Don't forget to tune in October 30th and 31st on the Rise Up Women's Conference. It's absolutely free. You could go find that information on RURC_therapy on Instagram and on Facebook. So just hit me up. And also free therapy sessions. You could try it out if you want to.
Without a doubt. And look, I'm not as important as them. Y'all can find me at The Political Plug on all social media. If you want to bother yourself, if you want to hear me talk shit about you and the way you talk about politics, follow me at The Political Plug. Also, I do have another podcast at The Chop Up Show. You follow me at The Chop Up and all of that. I'm on all social medias and doing all the fun stuff. Well, politics ain't fun right now. Politics ain't fun right now.
Yeah, they made it. They made it look.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like I'm dealing with trauma right now. You know what I'm saying? But it is what it is.
Knowing the psyche behind those politicians, oh my gosh, it's a whole other level.
Yeah, a whole other. But I'm gonna have to have you here to talk about that because that's a part of my studies. Hey, but we appreciate all of y'all for joining us on our 12th episode of the Over 30 Podcast. We're gonna keep getting in. We got another 8 episodes, and then episodes after that, and then episodes after that. So we getting it cracking, and we appreciate Sade being our first guest.
Thank
We got
you.
another guest because we still getting it in on Tuesday, right?
Speaking
TC?
speaking of next week, yes, we are gonna talk about polygyny. We're
Hey, we're
talking
gonna have
about.
a brother in here that he got him on
I'm sorry.
both sides.
He would hate when I say polygyny with an NY. It's
Yeah.
different, but he's gonna break it all down for us next week. We got my brother. He's gonna come in and he gonna get us popping on some stuff.
So we're gonna be back on the regular schedule on
Tuesday.
Tuesdays. We're gonna be back on the regular schedule on Tuesdays. We getting into understanding polygyny, polygamy, polyamory.
Yeah.
You know, just these open, non-traditional relationships. We getting it in. But yeah, man, thank y'all for joining us. We see y'all on Tuesday.
Thanks for having me. Y'all have a good night. Remember,
all right.
Black therapy matters and Black therapist matters. Get your mental health on.
Sure. And black podcast matter.
And
Black podcast.
Rise up.
Yeah, we out.
We out.
That order. Don't